Hi everyone, I'm Nate Bartlett with Berkshire Hathaway here in Marathon, Florida, and we're a little different scenery today. We're in my office right across from the Marathon Airport. And today we're just gonna go over a few frequently asked questions that I get asked all the time about real estate in general here in the Florida Keys. So stay tuned, make sure you watch them all. You never know which one might apply to you. All right, let's dive right in. What areas in the Florida Keys are best for investment properties? So the area in the Florida Keys that's best for investment properties, honestly, the entire Keys is amazing. You know, the word scarcity comes to mind. There's only so much land down here. They're not making more of it. All of the Florida Keys, I feel like, is a great investment. But if you looked at only the Florida Keys and said, which area should I focus in? It really depends on what you want. If you're looking for a great vacation rental, I think Marathon and Key Colony Beach, you can't go wrong because they have the 7-day minimum, where most of the rest of the Keys is a 28-day. If you're a house flipper, I would say the Florida Keys is a great place to come in, buy a property that's maybe distressed and needs updated, because not very many people down here want to go through the work of renovating a house or putting a pool in. So if you're a house, flipper or a renovation expert, there's a lot of money you can make down here by coming and buying a distressed property and renovating it and making it pretty again. Are HOAs prevalent in the Florida Keys, and are there any specific rules I need to be aware of? So the Florida Keys doesn't have a lot of HOAs per se. There are definitely pockets, like a few that come to mind here in Marathon. We have the Tides over at the Vaca Cut. We have Sunrise Isle. So there are definitely pockets that exist. Some people love HOAs, some don't. So there's a little variety of both. And then if you look at Key Colony Beach, I'll get the question a lot of times, what's the HOA fee in Key Colony Beach? And the answer is there is no HOA, because Key Colony Beach is its own city. But when you're there, it feels much like HOA community, because they do a great job of keeping it clean, making sure trash cans aren't left out. So it's not an HOA, although it kind of can feel like that at times, but there's a little bit of everything for everyone. If you love HOAs, yes, we can find you one. If you don't, plenty of other places that you can stay away from them. Can I Airbnb my house and live in it at the same time? The answer is maybe, if you have 2 buildable rights or 2 dwelling units there. So if you're in a full duplex and you have one side and you're renting out the other side, the answer is yes. If you have 1 buildable right, you live upstairs and you have an enclosure downstairs and you try renting that out, the answer is no, definitely not. The other thing that is a big no-no here, you cannot live in your house and say, oh, I'm gonna rent out my front driveway to someone in a camper and let them attach to a sewer. That will get you red flagged really quickly from the city or county. So you can only have multiple dwelling units where you live in one and rent one out if you have 2 of those permitted to that lot. What's one thing I should never do when buying a home in the Florida Keys? So one thing you should never do when buying a home in the Florida Keys is to try to do it on your own without a local expert. Here's an example. You think you're gonna come down here and you're gonna do it on your own, you don't need a realtor, you call somebody, you find the house you really like, you go through the 30, 45 days of closing, you come the next weekend, you got your boat, you got your family, you guys get here, you launch the boat and you go to take the boat to your property and you can't get the boat there because the canal isn't wide enough, or the dock maybe isn't long enough for your boat. That's just one example. There's so many out there. Guys, the Florida Keys is very, very complex and intricate from insurance, and it's a different place. We're not in suburbia America. There's a lot of different things that are here, and it is an amazing place to live and buy, and I certainly recommend you do that, but just make sure you hire someone local to help you out and don't try and do it on your own. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Maybe you learned something. If you have your own question that maybe we didn't cover, we probably just scratched the surface. There's tons more out there. Please drop it in the comments below and we'll do another video and we'll use some of your questions and I'll answer those too. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video.